If you enjoy our original content, please consider becoming a supporter on Anchor so that we can continue to bring you laughs every week.
The following program may contain immature situations, themes, and is intended for an adult audience. The opinions expressed here do not necessarily reflect the views of everyone else working on the show. Viewer discretion is advised. Welcome to the Danny McDermott Show, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you, Kevin, for the applause. Appreciate that, buddy. So I drove probably in the past 2 days, probably about 12 to 16 hours. I just want to do a shout out to Richard Tinkin. He owned the comic strip. That was the first club that I got into, and Richie is a legend in the comedy world. Was a legend. He died 2 days ago. I think it was 2 days ago or yesterday. But he discovered Eddie Murphy. He discovered Chris Rock. He gave Seinfeld his first break. He helped all these people. And he, for some crazy reason, about 7 years ago, he decided he wanted to manage me. So maybe I have some talent. But at any rate, he decided he wanted to manage me, and he did a lot for me. I went golfing with him. And I don't know if I told you about this, Kevin. I went golfing with him and his pastor. And it was funny because he's like, yeah. And he had a throat cancer. So he talked like this. He's like, Danny, you want to go golfing with me? I take you to the course, and we'll do, because he took me on his wing. He just became my manager. I'm like, yeah, sure, Richie, let's do it. He goes, you can play golf, right? And I go, yeah, oh, absolutely. I played golf, and I was on the team in high school. He's like, all right, great. So we go, and I am horrible. I mean, it was like I hadn't played in years, and I thought I could just pick it up again. And I'm like hitting the ball all over the place. He's like, are you sure you've held a golf club? And I'm getting mad, and I swore a couple times, and he goes, listen, he takes me aside, listen, we're golfing with my pastor. He doesn't like swear words, so if you could just not do that. So yeah, it was a complete disaster. And I looked like an idiot. I looked like I was pretending I could play golf, and like I never picked up a golf club before. It was so embarrassing. And but the guy still loved me, because at the end he's laughing. He's like, I still love you. It's all right, And it was that man did so much for me, man. He gave me so many spots at the comic strip. He put my picture on the wall. That was the first club, the only club that I got my picture up at, actually. And he even had me host and warm up the crowd and do jokes and bring up all the cast members from Saturday Night Live.
Nice.
So yeah, I'm talking about Colin Jost. He was trying to make me friends with him before Colin was even, he was a writer at the time. He wasn't even the host. He wasn't even the news guy. He wasn't on the show. He was just a writer. and he introduced me to him, and Jay Farrow was on the show, and I brought them all up, and it's all because of Richie. Richie believed in me. Richie gave me a shot, and we crushed that show. It was great. And then when I decided to go out to LA, I just felt like there was not enough going on here. Even though he wasn't going to be my manager because I was moving out there, I tried to get into the Laugh Factory, and I couldn't get in because they don't let comics go and hang out at the Laugh Factory unless they're on the show. And so Richie's like, "Did you go? Did you hang out?" And I'm like, well, no, I tried. They wouldn't let me in. And he goes, "All right, hold on. Go back tomorrow." He called Jamie Masada and told Jamie to let me in. And so I met Jamie, the owner, and I was able to hang out from there on out because of Richie. So God bless you, Richie. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I love you, man. And I'm sorry. It kind of hit me, but I went down and hung out with comics at the comic strip. So, and it was great because there were a lot of people that I reconnected with, and I stayed at Tom Cotter's place and Carrie Louise, who were both on our show. And I met their family. It was amazing. I met their cat and their dog. I mean,
you're in,
dude. They have the perfect family. They literally, the kids, the boys, they're all boys. And she's like, "I'm outnumbered here." And I go, "Yeah, but you've raised them well. It's okay. Everything's good." And so basically, I'm saying all this because it is National, what is it? Happiness Day. Was that it, Kevin?
It's I Want You to Be Happy Day.
I want you to be happy day.
That is correct. As opposed to most days where I'd like you to be happy, maybe between 4 and 6 p.m., but the rest of the day you're on your own.
Or I want you to be miserable.
The whole day, I want you to be happy. That involves probably some type of pastry for breakfast, maybe a little bit of exercise so you don't look like you eat pastries for breakfast. Just a happy day, Danny. A happy day.
Happy day, Kevin. Happy day.
Thank you.
Oh, this is my ghost cup. This passed earlier today, too. So... So it's with Richie right now as I drink to him. To Richie.
The morning process with comics is kind of complicated because it encompasses all of the normal emotions. Plus, there is still that we make each other laugh at all times component.
I tell you, we were all hanging out. We were telling stories. We're joking around. And these are comics I haven't seen in 10 years, some of them. And it was beautiful. It was great. So I know Richie would have wanted us to bring us back together again. By the way, folks, he managed Eddie Murphy when he was doing Beverly Hills Cop, when he was doing all those big movies. He did Delirious and Raw, and he was managing him at the top of Eddie's career when he was on Saturday Night Live.
That's a pretty high peak,
right? And Richie is a good man. He saw my videos and he brought me in and he goes, "Yeah, let's do this." So it was good. So it's National I Want You to Be Happy Day. Okay. Now, how do people get happy, Kevin?
Different people have different things. Some people are very sensitive to light. So certain people, they can't work nights because not being in the sunlight depresses them. And other people have more of a need for physical contact. And we're talking just human contact, not necessarily sex, although that doesn't hurt. Write that down.
Well, no, it's like a human Labrador. You just want to be pet and caressed and held and loved.
Cared for in some manner or means to feel a part of a community. But, different people have different levels of neediness. And it is a good thing that we have a day where we kind of touch on the different things that people do. Some people like to meditate. Some people do yoga.
Well, that's what I like to do. I like to do meditation. And let's make Kevin big here because we're conversing now. This isn't just there we go.
All right.
That's okay. I'll lean over. You can make Kevin big again. I'll just lean over here.
We're known for our leaning.
There we go. All right.
Our leaning is professional grade on this show, Danny.
I can't move from this spot. Okay.
Don't do it. But breathing is another thing.
I listen to meditation all the time. I just bought a mask for sleeping with earphones in it so that I could listen to meditation while I go to sleep. But if you're on YouTube, you're in the middle of the meditation, all of a sudden you got a commercial They put commercials in the middle of a meditation of all places to put a commercial. So I'm laying in bed. It's like, relax, relax. Everything's good. Oh, yeah, everything's good. Did you get molested by a priest? And all of a sudden that comes up. And I'm like, what? You know, I don't know. Maybe I was being hypnotized, and now maybe I believe it. I don't know. I don't want commercials during my meditation. YouTube, stop it.
What kind of commercial was it?
I mean, they all different commercials based on whatever Alexa has spied on you about.
That's why I want to know what kind of commercial. Like, does the commercial assume that you need a job or skills to get a job? What are the commercials about?
I don't know. They're about, like I said, for some reason, Alexa thinks I was molested by a priest, which I wasn't. But they have those
50-50, Danny. You know, your parents could have dressed you a little cuter. That's not a joking matter, but I do think
yes, it is. It's absolutely a joking matter because that's how you get. That's how I get through everything, joking about my tragedies.
And that's another good point, Danny. Laughter does bring happiness.
There you go.
And sometimes dark humor is part of the humor that brings happiness.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. When I got mugged by 10 guys on the street, I got up and did stand up. When I got stabbed by a supermodel, I went up and did stand up. And you know, whenever I know people are probably looking at it like, you did not get stabbed by a super. Yes, I did. Okay, yes, I did.
You're going to be the first person to put a hit out on
in
himself.
The back, by the way.
I haven't been funny for a few weeks. I need somebody to sneak up behind me and hit me with a pipe.
Yeah, I need a tragedy. I'm not funny enough right now. Somebody hurt me in some way. Just I need more material. So can somebody ruin part of my life, please?
That's fantastic.
It's true. It's true. Now, one thing people do is they manifest. If you believe it, you'll see it, which was, I think, a Wayne Dyer book. See, I did my research. But
good stuff.
It's true. Some people manifest. You got to think about it. You got to see it. You know, the whole thing about like a vision board, you know, you put everything up so you can see the life you want, and then you imagine it, or you just sit there in misery going, why can't I have that? Right? Kevin, I'm asking you a question. What are you reading?
I'm not reading anything, Danny. I'm looking.
Are you looking at porn, Kevin? Because it's a really bad time.
I got a paper cut in there, and it seems to be healing nicely, and that makes me happy, Danny.
Okay. So manifesting. Also, health. Health makes you happy. If you're working out, if you're exercising.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Let's come back to that in a second, though, because I think the biggest thing is the people you surround yourself with. You got to surround yourself with. Yep. I've always said that. I've always said, surround yourself with good people and you'll have a good life.
They say, that you're a combination of the 5 people you spend the most time with.
Yes.
So choose them wisely.
Yeah, it's true. And don't, everybody's like, oh, well, I want to help my friend. You got to help yourself first. You got to get yourself to a level where you can help other people. You can't be miserable and then try to help someone else.
You know, it's like an example. Don't do that. That's not what you should be doing.
Yeah, it's like, all right, if you have money and you can help someone with money, you could be miserable and help someone else. But I mean, in general, you really have to get yourself on a level to be able to help other people, right?
It is tough to take help from someone who's a little frightening.
Well, there's always, I sense you have a joke, so just say it, Kevin. Just
no.
Say it. Is it me? Is it me you're talking about?
No. I'm just picturing you being like, I'm too scared to tell the guy I'm not happy. So yeah, I'm happy. How's that? You happy now?
Oh, I've been in those types of relationships with women where like, are you happy? Yes, I'm good. All good. Yeah, please don't hurt me. All right, so health. I want to go back to health now. And one of the reasons I brought our first guest on is because she is an amazing human being. She's a fitness coach. She's a life coach. She even was pushing me for free to when Corona first hit to start doing videos, and partially because of her, I did the Living in Corona videos, and I love her so much, and I'm so happy she's on the show. Let's bring her on, Amy Zeal.
Oh,
Yes.
thank you so much.
Hey.
That's so sweet. I just want to say this like right off the bat. So I used to work at Crunch Fitness, and I lived in West Hollywood, across the street from the Laugh Factory. I used to live 2 blocks from there. So I just wanted to throw that in there because I know you're a comic.
Oh, there you go.
Small world.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. So
how do you
like? Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, you asked the
finish.
question. I answer. It's good. Go ahead.
Hey, look, this is all improv. Okay, there's no format to this.
Happy.
It's a conversation. We're just having fun. You know, you can interrupt me. Whatever you want to talk about. But one of the reasons I brought you on is because you're such an amazing human being. You were in a point where you weren't happy, and you decided to change your life. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Well, there is a couple times in my life that's happened, but the most recent, honestly, was the pandemic. You know, the pandemic hit, and I probably the first 2 weeks of the pandemic, I didn't get off the couch. I really didn't, because I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know what I was going to do. Like, life as we knew it completely stopped. And it took me about a month to kind of figure things out. And I said, all right, you know what? I need to help myself, but I need to help others as well, because that's who and what I am. I'm a coach. So I got my fitness coaching business running back up again, and life coaching as well. You know, that's how you and I connected. I think we were doing like the life coaching thing.
Yeah, I was so pathetic. You were like, I need to help you for free.
Yeah, like I don't want to let people know that I work for free, because that's not the case. But
No. I paid you in love and happiness.
No, it was.
That's worse, Danny. You're making this worse.
East Coast, West Coast. No, it was just, I really wanted to be able to do something to help others, you know, because I knew the hole that I was in, and I had to pull myself out of it. And I knew other people had to pull themselves out of their own holes as well. And if there's one thing I'm good at, I know how to motivate others, you know, and I know how to like see things that other people don't see, so I can kind of pick you up and kind of push you that way. And, you know, the hardest part is to get people to take the instruction and take the actions that I'm telling them to do, because not everybody does that. But you did that, which was so awesome and so cool. And then I would get these like messages from him like a couple weeks later, like, look what I did and look what I shot. And I was like, oh my God, he's doing it. And it was just, you just needed a little push. It wasn't like you had everything already there. I just had to be like, open the box and put it together. That's really all that had to happen. And you did. You opened the box and you put it together. So that's that.
And isn't that what sometimes I feel like, really, that's why when I talk about surrounding yourself with good people, sometimes that's all you need is nudges here and there. Always nudge each other in the right direction as friends. You know what I mean?
And it's a mindset, you know, like it's a winning mindset. It's all right. I'm going to fall. Everybody's going to fall. I'm going to get back up, and I'm going to do it again. And I'm going to keep trying until I'm standing. And then I'm going to walk, and then I'm going to run. And then I'm going to teach others how to do it too. And we're going to create a group, and we're going to create a community, and it expands. And that's just how it works. That's energetically how it works, you know, and to be happy and be fulfilled is to help others. That's where that missing piece comes in. It's like, I can love myself unconditionally, which is what I need to do, but am I going to just sit here on an island and love myself and my 2 cats? Well, maybe, but you know, there are other people.
That's what Kevin does.
I surround myself.
And the neighbors do talk.
Unconditionally loving cats, you know, and we all get along, but eventually at some point I have to like wander out the front door and like interact with others, you know, and I would like to be a light, you know, I would like to help others and light other people up, you know, and in order to do that, you're right. Like, you have to put your oxygen mask on first before you put your oxygen mask on the person next to you.
Yep. I love that analogy because it's so true. I see these people struggling, and they're trying to help their friends, but their friends are just dragging them down because they're not in a place where they're anchored and got their shit together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
and that's a boundary issue. You know, that's learning how to say no and learning that's not for me. And I'm going to move myself over here and I'm going to place myself in a position where maybe there's people that are a little smarter than me or are a little better than me, but that's going to bring me up. Like they say, if you're the smartest person in the room, you're probably in the wrong room.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly.
I'm the only one in this room, and I'm still not the smartest person in the room.
Well, now what do you say? Now here's the thing. Now this is one of my big issues. Is I get to a point where I'm spinning my wheels and I'm frustrated, and it's like growing pains. Like you're in that tough spot, where you're like, I'm not making money on the show. Like, you know what I mean? That's where we're at right now with the show a little bit. I'm going to be honest, 100%. But it's the thing is, and the tendency is to get frustrated and then
you break through it.
Just and like with a group, sometimes you get frustrated and you're all frustrated. And how do you get over that hump? And what do you suggest people do when they get into that level of
you have to. What I do is I have to remove myself completely from the situation. And I have a couple people I call, like guides or, like mentors that I might call to get a different perspective than my own perspective, because sometimes I can't see out of my own way. But when I'm like working on something over and over and over again, and then I get frustrated with it, I have to just completely, like, I gotta go do something else. Like maybe I need to go like to the beach, or maybe I need to like go watch a movie, completely mentally remove myself from the situation, knowing it's going to be there when I go back, and I need to go back fresh because I might not be seeing the missing piece. And I would say about your show, like, I can make a couple suggestions of a couple people that I know that have large followings that you might want to have on as guests. And that might make it grow, or that's what I could do for you, for this. But it's you have to just keep going. Like it's moving past the frustration.
Absolutely.
And just so that everybody gets those feelings, maybe go for a massage. Like I used to go for massages literally once or twice a month. And then the pandemic hit. And so I went a whole year without a massage, and that's just insane to me. And I finally decided, I said, I'm going to go to Massage Envy and get a massage. And I did, and I wore a mask, and they're clean, and they have their people get checked. And, and that really made a difference. It was a small little self-care thing. A hot bath is another thing that you could do to relax. It's about relaxing your mind, or like meditation. Meditation is great too. Like I love the Calm app. Have you ever heard of that? You see the commercial on TV. Calm app, CALM.
Yes.
No, I haven't heard of that.
If you're watching TV, the commercial comes on and it's like the rain and there's like the circle.
Oh yeah. I've seen that. Yeah.
I mean, and it's really funny what I do, because when I go to bed at night, like I put the Calm app on and I'm listening to the rain, but I also have the TV and the news going on in the background. So I have all this like noise going on, but and then the TV goes off and the Calm app is just on and I'm just listening to the rain. And I do have one of those dark masks as well. And I love essential oils. Essential oils is another thing I'm a huge fan of when it comes to calming and soothing and balancing and energizing you. Like you inhale and it goes right to your brain, and I think it goes to the limbic system, and it just makes you feel good, like, and then, and that's just real.
Now, real quick, just because I want to show our guests that you really know, you're not just talking about this stuff, you really have gone through this. Can we talk about your bodybuilding competitions or your fitness competitions that you went through?
Sure. Yeah, I thought can we talk about your body? Yeah. Talk about it.
All right, if you insist.
Well, I've done.
Well, how did you get into it? And What were your achievements in that?
How I got into it was I've been a professional dancer my entire life. And all through my 20s, I struggled with yo-yo dieting. I would go on auditions and I'd book the job, and then I would put on 5 pounds, and then I'd go to book another job and I'd lose the job because I was like 5 pounds overweight. So I was 5 pounds over, 5 pounds under. I could never get the sweet spot of always being and looking a certain way. And like, work and paying the bills depended on whether you got the job or not. And that really circled around my weight. And I didn't eat properly. And I not that I didn't work out properly, because as a professional dancer, you're in class like 4 or 6 hours a day. So you're working, but I wasn't eating right. So I was working at Crunch Fitness, and I had a mentor there, Madonna. Her name was Madonna Grimes. And she's like, you really should enter in fitness competitions. And I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. I just didn't want to do it. And then I went to China, and I was there for like 6 weeks, and I had a lot of time to think because nobody there spoke any English. And the only girl that was my roommate who spoke English, she slept all day long. So I had nobody to talk to. So I had a lot of time to think. And so I just decided, and there was this guy that I kind of liked, and, you know, he was starting this personal training business. And I'm like, all right, I'll let him train me. I'll do a fitness competition. We'll make this work. So it was like a team of guys. There was like 6 of them. And I had like a nutritionist. I had a personal trainer. This guy did supplements. This other guy did whatever they did. Like, they all had a specific talent, and they would coach me. And they're like, it's a lifestyle change. So you have to change everything: how you eat, how you sleep, how you work out, how you do everything. And that's what I did. And so it was like 4 months of all this hard working out. And like, because I come from a dancing background, when you train for something as hard as I did, like 3 to 4 hours a day for 4 months, I would usually get on stage and do a nice hour show. Well, this was a 30-second show where you posed in the front, you posed to the side, you posed to the back, and you posed to the side, and you were done. And I came in next to last place. And I was like, this is crap. I'm never doing this again. Like, what next? I was 5th out of 6. But the thing was, I got my body looking tighter and more toned and more lean than I ever had in my life. And this was the goal. So I said, all right, because I wanted to learn how to eat properly and work out properly. So that's how it started. But I swore off fitness competitions after that. I said, I'm never doing another fitness competition again. This is stupid. Then I moved to Las Vegas, and they had the Muscle Mania World Competition on the Strip. And I was like, and it was like a year later, and not that I was getting out of shape, but I wanted to kind of kick things up a notch and get back in shape again. And I didn't want to hire a personal trainer. I didn't want to pay for that. And I wanted to challenge myself with something. And this was a competition where you had the bikini and you had the fitness wear. So the theme. So I'm like, oh, okay. There's like 2 categories, and you could strut on stage, and it's more than just 30 seconds. So I trained myself to do the competition. I said, well, all right, I'll enter the competition. It was like $200. I'm like, if I'm going to pay to be next to
$200. See, that would motivate me. That would motivate me.
Well, it isn't just $200. I mean, it's the entry fee is $200. Then you have to pay for the bathing suit. Then you have to pay for the spray tan and the makeup and the supplements. And it's an expensive hobby, let me tell you.
Danny already has a high budget for makeup and supplements. And
I do. I spend so much on just on my base.
Well, long story short,
he does it all.
I did the competition. So that's how I started the competition. Well, I didn't win the first time. It was like the 6th time I won.
6 times.
It was the 6th time I won. Like I came in 27th, I came in 14th, I came in 7th, you know, like all over the board, you know. And then I finally got serious one year, and I'm like, if I'm going to go, like, let's like seriously do this. Like, what's the point of even showing up if you're not really going to go for number 1? So that's what I did, and that year I won. So
That's
it was
amazing.
That's awesome. But earlier you talked about walking, and a great analogy is like a toddler learning to walk.
Yeah.
They fall, but they always walk. You've never once in your life seen a toddler turn their head, look at you, and say, this walking shit ain't happening, is it?
I give up. That's it. I'm done.
Never. There's
I'm
just
not
not an
gonna
option.
I'm going to be a sitting human being. That's it.
Absolutely.
I'm done.
Yeah. It's just
Well,
about
listen.
not giving up and just knowing you don't have the solution yet. There is a solution.
I want to bring you on again.
Okay.
And I want to talk more about all of this stuff. Where can people find you?
You can go to my Instagram at Amy_Zeal or my Facebook at Amy Zeal. Right there. It's awesome. It's awesome how that just popped up. You can go right there and like me and add me, and I'll add you back and like you back, and we'll chit chat. And honestly, if you need help, if you need meal plans or workout routines or accountability, I do all that stuff. So that's my main thing. That's what I do. I help people get in shape and feel good about themselves and, transform their bodies, their minds, and their spirits.
Well, you certainly helped my life by pushing me to do those living in Corona videos, because that's one of the reasons this show started, to be honest with you. People saw those videos and they wanted to, and now we're 25 episodes in. So thank you, Amy. And if you want to hang out, if you want to hang out to the end, we're going to do Ask Anthony. I want everybody to stay for that. It's a great episode. And if you want to hang in the green room, we'll bring you back for Ask Anthony. Okay.
Sure. Okay. I'd love to.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you, Amy.
Thank you.
Isn't she awesome?
Absolutely.
Dude, she's amazing. She's so great. I mean, she's always been positive. She's never, anyway, I'll tell you more after, Kevin. We got to bring on our big guest tonight.
Yes, we do.
This guy, oh my God. He is best known for the role of Eugene Pontecorvo in the Emmy Award-winning television series, The Sopranos. Please welcome Robert Funaro.
Hey, Danny.
Hey, buddy.
Hey,
how you doing, Robert?
How are you?
Yeah, long time thumb possessor. Hey, Dan. Hey.
Dude, you are so freaking funny. Those of you watching the show, we were trying to figure out how to get him connected to the show. And he's like, Danny McDermott. Oh, you're killing me, Danny McDermott.
Danny McDermott,
oh my God.
meandering down Broadway. He wanders into Caroline's on Broadway one night, and we became fast friends.
Yeah, we did, right?
Yes,
fast, right away, immediately.
Yes. You got a great spirit, good person, and it's always a pleasure to see at Caroline's in the old days, you might say.
I know, man.
Those
so
are the
long
good
ago.
Old days.
You were working
Those
as a
good old
doorman at the
days.
time.
That's correct, sir. That's right.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yep.
sir,
So you were a doorman, and you were the coolest. You were one of the coolest people I ever met. There's something about your mannerisms and like you're very intense, but you're a little scary when people first meet you. You know what I mean? Because you got that Italian vibe, that accent.
Right.
like a wise guy, kind of like, And and you're so tall. How tall are you?
I'm 6'3". I was as skinny as Lou Black said. He described me as the skinniest bouncer on Broadway. Lou Black. He had a really good laugh at that. And I had a lot less weight than I do now. Of course, COVID weight, I upped it about 40 pounds. So
have you really? See, I gained about 20 myself. So
I think, well, my friend said 40. I'd say about 25, 25, 30 pounds.
Yeah, it's not 40. Come on.
No, it can't be 40.
We're talking Kevin now.
I really might be 60, and I'm not even kidding.
Is that true, Kevin?
I actually wear the headset because my ears have tits. It's embarrassing. That's the only reason I do this.
Your ears have tits. Oh my God! He's got little bras. He's got little bras on his earlobe.
My stomach has tits.
That's normal.
So, my stomach's one big tit.
Oh my God!
Oh, Danny.
Oh, we can't let your son see this show.
No, he's grown now.
Is he? How old is he now?
Yeah, that's 28. He's an electrician.
Wow.
He's in the union.
Okay.
And
well, that's good.
Yeah, my other daughter, she's doing nursing at St. Joseph's nursing school. And my other
Yep.
son, he's a laboratory guy. He likes to do lab stuff,
That's
experimentation.
awesome.
Yes.
Well, I got my engineering degree, right?
Yeah, I never knew that, man. Yeah. And,
You never knew that?
engineering, yeah.
I
That's
studied
cool.
superconductors and bioceramic implants, and I did infrared and Raman laser spectroscopy to determine if I incorporated a rhodamine 6G dye into the glass molecular structure. I mean, it's like crazy stuff. Okay.
Yeah, you're like ranting, man. It's cool.
I was just gonna say.
Well, that's anyway.
I know nothing, Kevin. I know nothing. Nothing.
I'm right here with you.
After
I'm on.
COVID, I know nothing about this whole entire episodic, you might say. COVID episodic. Let's do a COVID episodic.
So let's talk about the Red
fucking
Sox. Let's talk about the Red Sox Yankees game. Remember that?
Yeah.
We were at our Yankees Red Sox game, Kevin. Kevin loves the Yankees too.
I do.
Yeah.
And we're standing there, and a foul ball is coming, and you're like, Danny, it's coming at you. It's coming at you, Danny. It's coming right at you. And I'm like, I kind of froze, and you reached up and grabbed it. You snagged it before I had my hands up, but it probably would have hit me in the forehead because but you grabbed it and you caught it. We caught a foul ball at a Yankees Red Sox game. Isn't that was awesome?
Cool. That's because of my master Khashoggi. My Zen thing I did,
Dude, you caught it so easily. It was crazy. You didn't have a glove.
Zen guy from Brooklyn. You know what I mean? Yeah, give me that ball. Yeah, it was fun, Dan.
So we've been friends a long time.
I miss you, man. I miss you.
I know. You know what? We gotta hang out. I'm in upstate New York.
Yeah. I mean, I got my son. He lives up there in Kingston, and so does my daughter. She lives up in Socrates. So where are you at?
Oh, I love that town.
You in Poughkeepsie? Poughkeepsie?
No, I'm in Schenectady right now.
Oh, Schenectady.
Yeah.
Okay. And Kevin?
Yeah. I'm in picturesque Staten Island, New York.
Kevin,
which is where you are, right?
Don't go to Zakraz on Highland Boulevard. The Turkish, horrible. I went there today because I'm in Staten Island too, and it was horrible.
I'm sorry,
Zakraz. I'm sorry, Zakraz. Their Turkish food sucks.
I'm glad you told me. Yeah. I had to find out one way or the other.
The place is always crowded. I pass by every time. The place is like streaming with people. When pre-COVID, pre-COVID, not post-COVID. There's 5 people in there, but it's 5 people everywhere. But where in Staten Island are you from, Ken?
I'm in Annandale.
Oh, could be next door to me. I'm in Newdorp. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, Danny, it's cool.
Go.
You're in Schenectady, yeah, and that's cool.
Well, for now, I was in LA for the last 8 years, and I gave up my place, but I'm going back and forth on where I'm going to settle because of COVID. My son's in New York. Anyway, let's not talk about me. I want to talk about you. So after Caroline's, now the Sopranos is your biggest thing, but was there a step between that and the Sopranos, or did you just book the Sopranos? Because I know you met a lot of people at Caroline's. How did you connect? How did you get Sopranos?
I booked Sopranos because I did a 3-month tour, Scandinavian tour, with none other than James Gandolfini. And 7 years prior to the Sopranos, 7 to 10 years prior to Sopranos hitting big, or just coming out, David Chase is writing it. So, of course, Caroline's is positioned in Hell's Kitchen. I think I ran into James one time at Rudy's, a wonderful bar where we used to get plastered. After
I love that place. Free hot dogs, and they got Elvis beer. Elvis beer. Remember the Elvis cans? It's got Elvis on the can, and it's a beer like Elvis beer.
So, we did the play, and I played Stella, and he played Mitch, the pathetic Mitch, but it kind of reversed later on in life. I was more of a Mitch, and he's family kind of a guy, and I wasn't really acting in Caroline's, but I was managing when he came in. They promoted me to manager, and I walked in one day downstairs, and he was there, and of course we had that relationship for the tour. But a friend of mine went up to him at a party, and he said, "If I was you, I'd get your friend Bobby Funaro a job on your show." And it was year two, the end of year two. Gordon Silver, who was a bartender. I don't know if you know Gordon, Danny. Gordon was a bartender.
Oh
at,
yeah, Gordon. Oh
Still-
my God.
So Gordon was. I really owe my career to Gordon because he had the cojones, as we might say, to go up to him and say. And then and James asked me if I wanted to audition. There was a role available, and he asked me if I was acting, and I said, "Of course, yeah, all the time." Bullshit. Bullshit. I lied because acting is a lie like the truth. So that's what happened. And then I auditioned. Georgiana Walken's office was like across the street. It's a 1600 Broadway, 1900 Broadway. We're in 1626
Oh yeah, I've auditioned
Broadway,
there.
across
Yep.
the Brill Building. Yeah. So I studied, all night there. I had the key to the place so I could study. I mean, I left, and prior to the audition, I was able to study. And then I had a child at home, my son Gabriel. So it was I couldn't really focus there because he's crying. So I stayed almost all night there. And then I went to the audition with Georgianne was there, and they welcomed me. And one thing led to another. You get to go in front of people. It's like a laboratory inquisition. Call it the Soprano Inquisition. Everyone has to approve you. And it was cool. So you go down a Silver Cup, and then that started my professional career really, and then everything else fell into place after that. In the sense of been working as an actor for now since 2020 years. On
Well, you were
of
not.
course,
You,
I mean, I'm not going to say anything. They collect unemployment. You do it all like all actors do who haven't really made the big time. But what is the big time? How do you measure that? Is it money or is it just personal satisfaction of being on one of the greatest shows ever? So I was really happy to be on that show, Danny.
Was there a
Yeah,
time
no, it was
during that
amazing.
show? Was there a time during that show where it really hit you how much of a cultural phenomenon the show is?
Kevin, the first year that I was on, it was so nerve-wracking to be on that show. The nerves, because really that was my first professional job, Kevin. So it was just a lot of. It wasn't what I thought it would be. Like, I'm walking down Broadway and saying, "Yeah, this is great. I'm on The Sopranos, but I'm fucking miserable because did I do that right? Did I do this, that? Did I do that? All these doubts. I mean, let's face it. Like Ray Liotta, just as an example, he was on soap opera before he did Goodfellas. This was Sopranos was my first. It's almost like Michael Gandolfino. The Sopranos really is. I mean, there's Many Saints of Newark is his really first really perfect. Well, he's done some other stuff. He's been in some. He's in. I think he was in not Ray Donovan. He was in that show. What is it on Showtime? Anyway, so Michael had some experience, whereas I hadn't known to have any experience, and I was kind of thrown to the lions, so to say, in a sense, from my own personal demons. I had to exercise. So it was really important to have the family and friends around me while I was doing it, Danny, and the support system is really important. So, yeah, that was my first professional.
That's what we've been talking about this show. Yeah, absolutely. But you were a natural for that. You were perfect for that show. I mean, you were just an amazing person. And it's one of the reasons I became fast friends with you is because, well, it's true. I mean, dude, you have the biggest heart in the world, and you are a genuine, loyal, good person, and you deserved it.
Very nice of you.
You deserved it.
Caroline spoke to me. Caroline spoke to me for the first time. It was wonderful. I was working there for 8 years. How are you? How are you tonight? How are you? Oh, Bobby, I didn't know you knew James Gandolfini. Oh, yes, we go back a long way there. Thank you for speaking to me, Caroline. It took 7 years for you to speak to me to have a conversation. Besides, do we have enough seats in the house? Can you add a few seats for my friends?
So the people who don't know,
Danny knows how that goes at these clubs.
Yep.
These clubs are it can be so nerve-wracking, especially when Danny, right?
Oh yeah. Well, for those of you who don't know, Caroline owned Caroline's Comedy Club, which is the biggest club in New York City. And Caroline, it's funny because she didn't speak to me until I was headlining across the street at Damarino Restaurant. And Joe Paradise put my big poster with my big face, with my hand, Like the first headshot I ever had. My hair, hands in my hair like this, and I'm like,
funny. You mentioned Joe Paradise. He was very good friends with James Gandolfini. Joe Paradise.
yeah. Well, Joe. It was funny because Joe and I rewrote a script that James did a reading of, called Heavy Breathing, and it was about this porn director who wanted to make his big break in rated R movies. And James Gandolfini did a reading of that. And that's how I met Joe. I went to the reading. He had seen my stand-up, and he invited me to the reading. And after the reading, I'm in a cab, and I'm driving, and I'm in the cab going back. And he goes, he calls me up. James Gandolfini did a reading of that. I go, oh, that's cool. He goes, yeah, I'm good friends with him. I go, what did you think of it? And I told him, I was just a dumb kid. I told him the truth. And he goes, I want you to help me rewrite it. And that's how Joe and I became friends.
That's cool. Are you still friends with Joe?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
How's he doing?
He's doing good, actually. He's doing well. He's getting a little older, but he's still playing basketball with the kids down in the village. And you know what? The most amazing thing about Joe is he's blind as a bat, but he can still play sports. He can play basketball with these young kids. I was shooting pool with him once, and he's knocking the balls in. And I'm like, how are you? I'm a really good pool player. So, but I beat him, but I was still amazed because he can't even see. Like one of my ex-girlfriends, he was mad at her for some reason, but he didn't even know who she was one night, and she pretended she was someone else the whole night because she knew he was mad at her, and he had no idea. And here's one. Here's one incredible story. He's hanging out with Morgan Freeman when he was trying to get King Lear done, right? Have you heard the story?
No, I haven't.
Have you heard it? Okay. So he's hanging out with Morgan Freeman, right? And Morgan Freeman's going, hey, Joe, this is Tom, and this is his wife. This is Katie. And they hung out and stuff. And Joe's like, so what do you do? And he goes, he started laughing. He goes, I'm an actor and blah, blah, blah. And at the end of the night, Joe goes, well, I really hope you do well. You have a great attitude, and I think you're going to do well in this business. And he just burst out laughing and said, thanks, Joe. And he walked away. And Morgan Freeman turns to him and he goes, Joe, do you realize that was Tom Cruise? He goes, that was Tom Cruise? Yeah, and Katie Holmes, his wife.
Yeah, that's so funny. I mean, but that's Joe. I mean, but Joe is actually, he's like a Van Gogh. I mean, he has a lot of genius inside him. He really has a lot of genius. He's one of those people that, you meet him and you're just mesmerized by his knowledge and how great a director he is. I worked on one project with him. Oh no, wait, yeah, it was at Columbia. He was teaching a class at Columbia, and I was in a short film, and we had a discussion after the short film. And he's really knowledgeable, and I mean, I wish he, did more directing, but this business is crazy, Danny.
Well, I know. You know what it is? I mean, he is such an artist that he gets in his own way when it comes to money and the business and all that kind of thing. You know what I mean? He's a genius. I mean, it was funny because he's like, I go, Joe, I'm doing a one-man show. I want you to direct me. He goes, no. I go, why not? He goes, well, you're a writer. And I go, no, but I act. He goes, no, nigga, you're not an actor. I go, why not? What do you mean? He goes, you don't do it enough. If you were an actor, you'd be doing it all the time. So I said, all right, Joe, fuck it, buddy. All right, screw it. All right. I went and did it myself, and I invited him. He saw me do it, right? And after the show, he goes, I think I want to direct you in this. And he directed me, and then he was just like, you are a great actor. I had no idea.
There you go. He's really
But yeah, he's a brilliant man. Paul Sorvino even bragged about him on Dick Cavett.
Yeah.
That was one of the first
what do you have to
tapes
say?
He said Joe is a brilliant director, brilliant man. I expect to work with him many times in the future. And this was Paul Sorvino on the Dick Cavett show. So
wow, that was some years ago,
Yeah. Well, once I get this movie, I think I sent it to you, but once I get this movie, we're hoping to shoot in the fall. Once we get this going, I want to obviously grab Joe and use his knowledge and get him, onto the level where he should be.
That's a really good idea.
Yeah. I love the guy. I mean, he took my one-man show to a new level. He brought me, I was a good actor, but he really changed everything. So
He's a great director. He's a very good director. He's a director's director.
We're reminiscing, but I want to get back to you. So you did the Sopranos, and then you went on to other things. What are some of the other shows you've done? I mean, I have them here in front of me.
Multiple, from Sopranos, and I started working professionally on Law and Order, and I did all the Law and Orders multiple times. About 5 or 6 of them, and then a lot of some pilots that didn't make it. I booked American Gangster with Ridley Scott and Josh Brolin. I played his partner. That was a good film. I also was in David's one and only film. Now, of course, he's doing Many Saints in New York and Not Fade Away, where I played Uncle Murph with James. That was great. Not really
what a great actor, James Gandolfini was.
Yeah, well, not really a well-known film. I've kind of done sitcoms like The Sinner with Jessica Biel, which was a lot of fun.
Susannah, our producer, loves that series, by the way.
So that was the first, actually. Yeah, that was the first Susannah. She's a wonderful lady who's married. All the good ones are taken. That's for Susannah. She's a good person. So,
yeah, she is.
I mean, she hangs out with you. So, not surprised. Not surprised, Danny. So, I mean,
she kicks my ass.
So I did The Sinner, and of course, I just did Ray Donovan just last season with Sidney Bernstein. She was a new character. I played her boss, some of the bastard boss, who was
how about The Irishman?
Everybody. Yeah, well, I was just going to get to that. The Irishman. There you go.
Yeah,
I played Johnny Friendly, Johnny Friendly. And that was a really wonderful. Second time I was working with Martin Scorsese. On the first one, it was Vinyl, and which didn't make it, which I don't know why. But then Irishman was really great. So, I mean, to be working with De Niro, Robert De Niro, and himself, and all the people there, but De Niro, and it was a dream come true. Sometimes I have to pinch myself. I mean, a lot of actors work with other actors, but it's really you have to kind of really take a good look at how far you've come from Doorman to a good scene with Robert De Niro, and I really, it was a great to do. And of course, Bobby Cannavale, who I knew, and Ray Romano, who I knew from Caroline. So we knew Ray, and I was back with them from Vinyl. So I was really comfortable on the set especially with Bobby. He's a good actor. He puts you at ease. He's just like a regular guy, and it was a great day, and to work with Marty. And there were some days he didn't work because he's like a painter. Like if he wants you he wants to have everybody around. So you go into the set sometimes, you be there for like 7 hours. Marty decided he's not going to use you, but you get paid. So it's great. Got paid, man. It's just, it's great, man. It's no problem. No problem. We'll come back tomorrow and they'll put you in another scene. So, and I think that's the reason why he gets such great performances from amateurs to professionals, because he's able to put them at ease. And to really, he comes from the Cassavetes school of acting, really a family-based, not so technical, like a television and stuff like that, just more improvisation. As a matter of fact, if you watch the clip that I'm in, that particular take was the one that Marty came and said to me, whatever you want to do. What do you mean, Marty? I don't understand. Whatever. It's just whatever you want. Just say what you want. Say what you want. And that was some of that dialogue. I'm sorry, Steve Zalian, was mine, not yours. Sorry, you wrote Gladiator. No, you wrote American Gangster. I think Zalian wrote Gladiator, didn't he? Did Zalian write Gladiator? Sorry, anyway. So and that take was really improvised, more like, you do it. So he makes you so comfortable. You get into the character, you get into the skin of the character. You're just cooking. You feel great after. It's exhilarating to do stuff like that. Like on Sopranos, it was great. The Snapple bottle over little Carlo, that was wonderful. The killing somebody, but you really couldn't deviate from the script, Dan.
Right.
You had to stay
Scorsese
out.
allows that.
He allows you to, do the writer's words, but he gives you, he casts you because he's casting. He knows your person, so he allows you to do that, and of course, I mean that could be dangerous too. You might say too much, but he's got a good eye for picking the right people who have that ability, and I think that's the reason why his films are so great, because they seem like they're really happening. I mean, if you look at Taxi Driver, I was watching it the other day.
Oh my God.
It just seems like it's just actually happening in front of our eyes. This guy is melting. He's boiling. He's just coming to a boil, and it's just
Yep.
So I think that's why Marty gets, and he comes from that school of directors. It's a great school that, it's personal, it's family. Once you're in his family, a lot of people, my first part was a smaller part. Tony Del Greco, I played opposite Armin Garrow, great actor. And it was more of a henchman kind of a part. And his part was a little bit more meatier. I introduced the Irishman to the wise guys, so to say, to the boys. So, that was more, it gave me a little bit more to do. So, you can never predict these things. You can't manipulate them. It just happens. But he's really a fair man, and I really respect him. Of course, Thelma Schoolmaker, his editor, she's a wonderful person too. And so it's a great experience to be working with her too in the looping room. I'm saying this lady did just like this. Wow, some great films, Goodfellas, everything. It's just, man, it's just really, it's nice to take a step back and say, wow, this is really great. Because everybody wants to get to that level, but you got to be able to acknowledge the little things. The little things. I think it's a new
That's
movie.
what I love about you. I knew that's why I was your friend right away, man. Because you are that type of person who doesn't. You would never become a diva. You are appreciative of everything that life hands you and everything you've had to work for, and you're grateful, and it shows. It shows. And no, I am grateful that, after all these years, we haven't really connected in a long time, and after all these years, you're like, absolutely, Danny, I'll do your show, and I'm grateful for that. So you're the greatest, bro. You really are, and you've done so much now, man. You've done so much. All right, so where can people find you? I want you to stay on because we're going to do a segment with called Ask Anthony. But where can people find you?
I'm on Instagram. I'm currently I'm affiliated with the Renegade. I'm a part of the Renegade Theater Company, which is with Vinny Pastore, Maureen Van Zant, Sammy Semenza, Ernie Mingione, a lot of great people. We have this company, some Sopranos, some not, and I'll be directing and also acting in a film, a play called Painting X's on the Moon by Richard Viteri, and it stars Maureen Van Zant and Vincent Pastore. I'm directing and I'm also acting in it also, and it's really a great play. It's more than just there's a wise guy involved, but it's about artists. It's about the struggle of an artist, like how much if you compromise and how it can really ruin you. It's almost as if the metaphor for that would be you had a lot of talent, but you did a soap opera where you made a lot of money. This is not what the show's about, but let's say you were Marlon Brando and you settled for or whatever, like De Niro, you settled for a soap opera. Leona was in the soap opera, but he moved out of that. And Ray did what he did, but some people, they do that, and by doing so, they're comfortable, but are they pleased with the inside of themselves? Because that's what acting, and that's what I think life's really about, pleasing the inside of yourself, the family and friends, and it's a journey.
Yeah, you're right, man. I quit the show, guys. I'm done.
That's the answer to where you can find
I'm not
Robert.
an artist. I'm not being an artist right now. What the hell?
But I learned tonight that you will not find Robert at the Turkish joint on Highland Boulevard.
No, that's right. Zappers, no. So I'm doing that, and then I have this cooking thing on chefsfeed.com where I do one dish a month. I do one dish a month. Got some nice press in the Daily News and Staten Island Advance, Kevin, and some other cheddar. I don't know, some cheddar.com, and it's with this guy Andrew Jedlicka from the Andrew Frank Group. He sponsors Vinny Pastore's marinara sauce, and they asked me to. I post these Instagram. Join me on Instagram. I post these food pictures, and everyone started. My sister got me into Instagram, and Sister Annie, and it was wonderful. So I just post these food pictures because I had nothing else to do in the pandemic but cook and eat and gain weight. So everyone said that they said, why don't you just do something on the Chef's Feed? And Chef's Feed, they people, to learn Mama's Sunday sauce. That was the first show. People, they joined the class, and I think it's more a labor of love than making money. I just, but why not make a few dollars? Gas money, right, Danny? Who cares? We always need gas money, right? Gotta be humble. Yeah. So chefsfeed.com. Next one is I think it's March 25th. I think I'm doing rice balls and Sicilian rice balls or something like that. So check me out there.
Nice.
All right, we'll put those links for those of you guys watching. We'll put those links in the description of this episode. We're putting it on YouTube as well. All right. So now, Robert, hang out and let's bring Amy back and let's do the segment. Let's do Anthony.
Okay. Am I on the air? Okay.
Absolutely. Robert, me and you should do a show about places to eat on Staten Island and places not to eat on Staten Island.
I agree. Campagna is very good.
Campagna and Pizzeria Giove and Dough are my three favorite pizzerias. There's a lot of good ones.
Yeah, and there's that restaurant that I really like.
In fact, I was going to Lee's Tavern. I was going to Lee's Tavern one night, but they were closed to film The Irishman.
There you go.
Yes.
Explode.
All right, let's do Ask Anthony. Let's do this. Roll it.
All right.
I think we're...
What are your favorite comfort movies?
Hello, everyone. How are you?
There he is.
Good to see you. How's everybody doing?
Very
good,
well.
buddy. Good.
Always a pleasure.
Likewise. I hope everybody's like in their pajamas because I'm going to go 7 hours tonight. We had
it's going to be an intermission.
Yeah, we had a detailed meeting about keeping it short, but I realized as I was, going through the material that I have that there's no way I can keep this short. So without further ado, comfort films. Everybody has them. It's like comfort food. You keep going to it because for whatever reason, it just works. And so I would like everybody to participate if possible, because I know everyone has like those films in their system that they always go to. So start thinking about them because I'm going to call on individually. For me, I'm going to start with, and I think I maybe told this story before, but I'll keep it very brief. Mr. Mom. Okay.
Great movie.
This is a problem for me. Okay. We're going to get into like a therapy section, quite frankly. Basically, my parents in '83, I was 5 years old, 6 even, decided to go see a movie. They asked if I wanted to go, and I said, no, I'm going to hang out with my friend. They said, cool, I'll come back. And they did. And I don't remember what I did hanging out with my friend, but I remember that car ride home. They were laughing about this movie that I didn't see. They were quoting lines. And because I grew up without cable, I had to wait until like 86 to see it on basic television. So I missed out. And I feel like I've been like subconsciously chasing that ever since. Okay. So not only do I have like memorabilia from the film, I've got lobby cards. Okay. This is it's legit. Check this out. Actual sign for the filming crew.
Oh, that's so cool.
I never touch it. But what's most important, and you really can't see, unfortunately, the title because it was cut incorrectly. The original production script for Mr. Mom Complete
Wow.
notes, complete with notes about extras, about, oh, this scene didn't happen. We ad-libbed this scene. So I've read it along with the film. And I'm like, oh, that's so different. So yeah, therapy. The end.
Well,
So
all right. So you're saying it's one of those movies that you go to when you're bored, you're feeling depressed. You just want to.
definitely not that. Definitely not that.
Like-
I think it's
Like meatloaf
Please.
and mashed potatoes, it's just a comfortable, familiar, nothing fancy,
yes.
but it gives you that feeling.
Yes, and I'll just throw it on in the background because it's like I'm a creature of habit. If it works, I sadly will go with what works, then like almost explore something that might let me down. I'm trying to get better. I'm gonna have a lot of movies here to let me down, but at the end of the day, I know it works for me. But yeah, so it's just
video.
sorry.
Looks like Blockbuster Video.
No! You put her up to that, you. Yeah.
Oh, that was the exact wrong thing to
I
say.
need a
No, it was
Hold on.
perfect. This is a
I need to
comedy
put on
show.
Mr. Mom.
That was perfect.
I need to put on Mr. Mom. Turn on. Who doesn't love?
He created this video. Just so you know, he created this amazing video.
Thank you, sir.
What do you call it? Store? No,
It's a
not
video
a store.
It is. It's
It's
a
a
video
store.
store. 100%. There's not a lot of customers because it's in his house, but it's a
Right.
video store.
He
He
come in
created
with
this.
masks on.
He created this out of pure love of video stores. That's how he created this entire
Yeah.
thing.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, the idea was basically I wanted to create like the mom and pop video shops I remember growing up, like the individual owned.
That's
Always. Sorry.
That's exact. That's where I used
Oh,
to
cool.
go like down to the corner store to rent our VHS when we would watch movies on like Saturday night.
Nice, nice. Well, yeah, I mean, like, yeah, that was the thing. That's what we did, right? And all of a sudden,
I hope you
Blockbuster
have
came
some.
out.
I hope you have some of Robert's movies there.
I actually have a television section. Movies I need to look into. I may, as a matter of fact, but I definitely have Sopranos on VHS. But I will say, yeah. So all of a sudden, Blockbuster came out, and we were kind of like all excited at first, but we didn't understand the byproduct of their existence, which is no more individuality, mom and pop owned stores. You know, like stores that have. I just dropped a bunch of shit, but stores that have black and white checkered floors. I only saw one in my lifetime, and I was like, holy shit, that was just awesome and welcoming, like a diner. But it just became homogenized, and I know that like they hid the horror section and the action section, and they were trying to be more family friendly, which I can appreciate from a business standpoint. But for me, I was just like, dude, this is like vanilla after a while, you know? So anyway, rant over.
All right, what's your next one?
Mr. Mom. Actually, I want to take this to you. I understand Outside Providence is one of your comfort films, sir.
I love that movie. That
Great
movie, because when I was taking screenwriting at Columbia University, I had a big argument with my teacher. I had a big argument with him in front of the class. I was like, I want Dumb and Dumber humor mixed with real drama. He goes, you can't do that. You can't mix those two together. Outside Providence does that.
And
It
everybody
really
gets a
does.
cookie.
Huh?
And everybody gets a cookie.
Dude, Kevin, you know, I do this like 7 times an episode. I literally, from that film, use that term verbatim. For 20 years, it's like, that's what it is. It's a cookie.
It's yeah. Oh, let me see the line. Let me see.
Alec Baldwin
Robert,
scene.
Robert, I wish you knew the exact line because you would deliver this way better than me. Alec Baldwin's sitting there, and he's sitting there. He's got a pint of ice cream, and his son comes out, and he goes, "So that little girl you with, you putting the wood to her?" And he's like, "Come on, Dad." He goes, "Hey, look, don't think I don't know what goes on. Just remember one thing: sex is like Chinese dinner. It ain't over till you both get your cookies." Remember, I said that.
You nailed it. You nailed it. And that was the scene-stealing moment in that movie, as a matter of fact. I think, and I haven't looked into this, but I feel like my memory serves me correctly. It was Jonathan Brandis's last film before he sadly committed suicide.
Wait,
Jonathan-
which one was he?
Jonathan Brandis was in Outside Providence. You would know him from like Ladybugs with Rodney Dangerfield, or
But which one was he in the movie?
Oh God, he was a guy. I don't know. He was a supporting character. Yeah, but you know the guy. Like he was in Neverending Story 2. You know, and like, hey, Susanna's in the house. What's up?
There you go. Now,
There
Robert,
she
you can
is.
see what Susanna looks like.
Yes.
All right, what's the next one?
Susanna.
He actually played Mousy in Outside Providence.
Well,
there you go.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he was also in like Sequest, DSV, and so on and so forth, But yeah, so hell of a movie, underrated.
Right?
Farrelly. I never know how to pronounce her name. Farrelly. Underrated gem by them, for sure.
I was sitting with Peter Farrelly
Excuse me.
at Columbia University, right next to him after a tiny little meeting with film students, and I said to him, I didn't really love Alec Baldwin as an actor until I saw Outside Providence. And he said to me, he looked at me, he goes, "You're right. I think that was Alec's best work."
It was definitely real and like he like became that dad.
He really was that dad. He was that dad that you'd laugh at because he's like a caricature. But then that scene when he talks about what happened to his mother and he starts crying in front of his son, which a strong man, like he reminded me of my dad. My dad never cried. And that moment.
Yeah, you just suffer quietly inside. But the fact that he actually didn't internalize it, that he didn't internalize it just meant like how important she was to him.
It was incredible. I cry every time I watch that scene. I mean, that scene is beautiful.
Well, then it's pure acting. I got to like revisit it. It's been years since I've seen it.
Yeah.
But real quick, I just got a note. I think we all did. Jonathan Brandis, real quick, did 7 films after Outside Providence. So worth looking into.
I'll definitely look into it. Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to speed this through because I was joking about 7 hours in pajamas. Dawn of the Dead, okay? For some reason, I love survival horror. We're doing it again. We're battling for space. I will rent this space right here, right there. I never have my camera cues down. Sorry, guys.
No,
anyway,
you nailed it.
Yeah, God bless you. Anyway, Dawn of the Dead is pure, wonderful survival horror. They made a remake in 2004. It's just one of those movies I could throw on in the background, and for me, it's just music and camaraderie, and who doesn't like like supermarket or mall shopping sprees where you just take anything you want, so there's that. Now I would like to ask Mr. Robert, what is your comfort film, or 2 or 3?
There's so many great films.
I know it's a problem.
I like the Horseman with Omar Sharif and Jack Palance.
Okay.
It's a Trumbull Douglas. I think his name is Trumbull. He wrote it. It was Joseph Kessler who's the author of The Horseman. I like that film. I like some foreign films. 400 Blows.
Yeah. Is that a Truffaut?
Truffaut, yes.
Yeah.
I was going to say Pusher, but that's not really a comfort. The German film Pusher. That's really not a comfort film. You've seen that one.
It's a repeat viewing film, but not comfort. There's nothing comfortable about it. Yeah.
Yes, but so that's not really. I think that It's a Wonderful Life. That's a great.
Oh, that's a great movie.
Amazing.
And I do like. I guess there's some films that are not comfortable. They don't make it comfortable. But I guess It's a Wonderful Life. Treasure of the Sierra Madre.
Nice. Well done. Yeah. I can see that.
I like that film. I like that film. I like the ending, and it makes me feel good that they didn't get the goal, but they have friendship in the end.
I mean, it's a life lesson.
Like your
right
thing,
there.
your whole thing.
Spoiler alert.
Your whole setup there that you have there. It's great. I really love it, man.
Danny
Awesome.
stole it, but I stole it from Kevin originally.
Cool. So
Well done.
Those are a few of them. Yeah.
Nicely done. All right, so mine are not as refined as
I was going to say those were amazingly artistic films.
Yeah, they're it's cinema at its finest.
Yeah,
Actually,
Kevin's going to be like Jingle All the Way.
did you guys like? Why'd you spoil my next This is not cool, dude.
No way. You have that one?
No,
Are you
I
serious?
don't.
Okay, good.
No.
He's killing you softly.
I'm a fan of Down and Out Beverly Hills. For some reason, just Nick Nolte being taken in by Richard Dreyfuss and the family, and it's the most dysfunctional. God bless. It's, I'm going to learn. I finally learned 17 times later. It's just like a dysfunctional family that has everything they need. What's great is I just throw it on in the old in-store telly right there, and I just organize tapes. And it's got a great soundtrack, and the end. That's what it does for me.
He's one of the greatest, one of my favorite actors of all time, too.
Which one? Little Richard? Because he's in it
Nick
too.
Nolte. Nick Nolte.
Nick Nolte's badass. For sure. I'm going to just really quickly skate by. Arthur is the shit. You see how I just swoop that? There you go. Arthur's fucking amazing. Pardon my language.
The original. The original.
But it's true when you get caught between the moon and New York City.
It's just a perfect comedy. It's just a perfect comedy.
It's great. It's great.
Yeah, it's like I think Dudley's finest role.
Absolutely.
Easily. And just everything comes together. And Hobson is just a dear heart. And just everything like just gels. Not only is it for me consistently funny, it's just like feel good, to quote Robert. Like you feel good when you watch it. It's a good story. The end. It is now Kevin's turn. I would like to know what your comfort food films are, sir.
I love A Bronx Tale. I watch it every time it's on.
Wow, that's nice.
See, I got to tell you, there are certain films that I'll watch when they're on. I'll stop what I'm doing. I'm like, oh, I'll watch it. Like Independence Day. It's like, oh, that's a guilty pleasure. I'll watch it. But A Bronx Tale, will you physically put it on, or will you just like, oh, it's on, I'll watch it?
Both. It's a classic movie. First of all, the recurring theme of nobody cares is something good for everybody to hear. Solve your own shit.
100%.
Second, absolutely. Second, the scene where he lends him his car and he says, you're going to take the girl out on a date. And when you open the car door for her and you put her in that door, if she doesn't reach over and unlock your door, you drive her home.
Wow.
What he meant was sunset her. Get rid of her. Okay.
Yes. It's just a classic movie. And it also has a gangster telling somebody not to be a gangster. And in the real world, for the most part, gangsters want to be businessmen. They don't want to be gangsters. Businessmen want to be gangsters.
That's a profound statement.
It's funny because, like, my father, I was going to join the when I was young, and if I could just
please
chime in, because Kevin's from Staten Island, like myself. There was an Italian American League football, Pee Wee football. It was, and then Joe Colombo was sponsored it, and my dad. We were really excited. They bought us uniforms. It was the first time we got really nice uniforms and all that stuff. And my dad said, "Well, you're gonna have to take that back, because why? Because I don't want you playing for that particular outfit, that particular, the Italian American. Remember when Colombo started that? And I guess that's one of the reasons why he probably was assassinated, because he just wanted to do things his own way and try to legitimize." The things he was affiliated with. But anyway, so I had a dad very much like Robert De Niro. My dad, God rest his soul, who was like that, who just didn't want us to be involved with. And then I wound up, and then he saw me on Sopranos, and he said, "Hey, pretty good. That's good."
But
make believe. It's make believe.
He said the real tough guy goes to work every day. That's the tough guy, the guy that gets out of bed, goes to work, and feeds his family.
Yep.
That's true, Kevin.
That's like almost a nice bow at the end of that story. That's well done.
Yep.
Well done.
Beautiful.
Okay, I'm going to just try to plow through. Because, again, I was joking, 7 hours pajamas. So I'm going to do two. Okay. I've never done this before, except for comparing Deep Impact and Armageddon. Okay. Taking care of business and Twins. Okay.
Oh.
Twins is shit. Twins is good. I always do that. I'm sorry. This is like a running thing where I just don't have my camera cues down. So forgive me for like cursing like I was losing it, but I was for a second. Twins is awesome. It's just enjoyable fun. This is a movie I actually missed growing up. And I remember a lot of people were talking about it. This might have a bit of a Mr. Mom syndrome for me. I finally caught it in like maybe early 90s or mid 90s. And I'm like, this movie's awesome. Like I totally missed the boat. And
Awesome.
I just keep watching it because it's enjoyable. And I got to say, this bad boy, Taking Care of Business, I just have always appreciated it. I don't know if anybody has seen this one. But
Yes.
Jim Belushi escapes prison to go see the Chicago Cubs win the World Series.
It was awesome.
Yeah, it's very dated. It's not a timeless film like some of these other films look like. Like, it's very deep rooted in like 1990, and you're like, oh, that's
it's just a period piece now.
yeah, but yeah, it's no Jane Austen shit, but yeah. But you're just like, ooh, some of the shit that they're rocking. But it's cool though. I will say this: a small story. A coworker friend of mine, I went to his wedding, and his wife is Jim Belushi's personal assistant.
Oh,
So
wow.
Jim Belushi was at the wedding, and I was just like, holy shit, there he is. Right?
I think he's a pot farmer now.
100% he is. Yes. Yeah.
That's a nice homage to John Belushi, who to me, the most talented human being who ever lived in terms of being funny is either Jonathan Winters or John Belushi.
Well said, dude. Well said.
Yeah, I agree.
If you could see my Good Morning Vietnam, Robin Williams mobile, I would show you right now. But yeah, as you know, Robin Williams' idol was Winters, and rightfully so. But yeah, so anyway, so I went to the wedding, and Jim Belushi was there, but I never bothered him. You know, there's no reason for me to talk to him other than just, you know, I was a fan. So cut to, we're leaving the wedding, and mind you, I'm keeping time on the segment. I swear. They chastised me. Anyway, so we're leaving the wedding, and I actually before we left the wedding, I saw that Jim Belushi had gotten into a white minivan. I was like, all right, well, there he goes. Well, I love the guy's work. How cool! I saw Jim Belushi, a fan of his work. And as we're driving later outside of the wedding, I see the white minivan on the side of the road. And I was in whatever caravan. I'm like, pull over right now. And they pulled over probably like, I don't know, 20 yards in front of him at night on the side of a freeway. His lights are on. We're in front of him. They're like, what's going on? I'm like, hang tight. That's Jim Belushi. I got this. And I jumped out of this is not even bullshit. I jumped out of the car and I ran towards the headlights. I'm like, hey, how you doing? I'm with the wedding party. Mind you, I knew who he was, as I said. I'm with the wedding party. Is everything okay? And Mr. Jim Belushi says, oh, man, I appreciate you stopping. I left my wallet on top of the car. I think I got it all, but I appreciate you stopping. I'm like, are you sure we can turn our car around and face the headlights this way and get like crazy lights on it and do like a party search? He's like, no, man, I appreciate you saying that. Thank you so much. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, all right, good luck. Take care. And I got into the car. I never even said a word about like how badass he is. I got into the car and then I explained to my friend's wife, who's his personal assistant. I'm like, oh yeah, he left his wallet on top of the car. And she's like, God damn it. Like, it's almost probably a thing. And I said, yeah, he seems to feel like he's got it all. But I got to tell you, when I was like meeting him, I kept thinking I wanted to tell him how badass he was in taking care of business, but I felt it was inappropriate. Right. So I told her that. We go on with the reception, so on and so forth, or the after party. 2 weeks later, I get a poster, an original taking care of business poster signed by Jim Belushi, because she relayed the story of the guy who tried to like help him on the side of the road. And I did. There's none of this. And, but I didn't want to tell him how badass he was in taking care of business. And she relayed the message that I restrained my fandom. Mm-hmm. And so he signed a kick-ass quote from the film, and it's a total prized possession. I'm done. Thank you for listening.
No, dude, he's. I was a huge fan of him too, and believe me, I love John Belushi, but Jim was good, man.
Yeah, but here's the deal. Forgive me.
He wasn't like
John could continue working.
He wasn't like Stallone's brother.
Oh my gosh! God bless Frank. For sure. I mean, I got a lot of Frank's movies here.
I'm busting on him, but damn, Jim was great, man.
I love. We got the soundtracks here. No, but
oh, sorry,
Robert. We're gonna be doing karaoke soon. As soon as everybody gets vaccine, we're doing it.
We're going out of our fucking minds inside the house here, so I'm got all these soundtracks in my head.
Well, as long as you're at least getting a little sunlight, and if not, vitamin D3 or whatever?
Yes.
Take that vitamin D. You know, like you got because I don't know. At the end of the day, like that's the worst thing that's happening to us. I think is aside from rampant alcoholism or whatever else folks are doing in their house and
See,
shit.
now I want to drink.
No, you do. You do. If you don't,
I don't actually do any of it, but I think of myself as more of a pill guy.
I think you said this last time. Did you say this last time? Holy shit! By the way, I'm working right now. I'm actually on the clock. So if I get a Slack message that says I have to work, I'm gonna have to All
right.
So I've got 2 timers. I got the Danny McDermott show timer and my work timer. So anyway, moving forward, I just want to say, when you think of Jim Belushi's career, I mean, it's at this point several decades. So it's easy to think like, oh man, he's done a massive body of work, and Belushi didn't have that luxury because of what happened. But imagine if Belushi did.
Oh my God.
I mean, So
I still think of Jim Belushi as the man who gets mugged every 6 seconds in New York. On Saturday Night Live, they're like, a man gets mugged every 6 seconds in New York City. And all of a sudden, and then they're like, and this is that man.
Yeah.
Jim Belushi, he starts interviewing. He's like, yeah, I'm going to, all of a sudden, and they beat him up. He gets up.
Every 6 seconds.
Yeah. And he's like, yeah, it's tough being that man. And, but I really feel like I'm getting through it. All of a sudden, boom, boom, boom. People beat him up again.
Another underrated film, and it's not fantastic, but it's enjoyable, is Neighbors. And I don't mean the Zac Efron, Seth Rogen one. I mean Dan Aykroyd, John Belushi. Yeah.
Yep.
So there's that. Anyway, Amy, it's your turn. Let's talk about some of your comfort food films.
So you're gonna laugh. My comfort.
No way. Have you seen some of my selections? I'm like, come on.
Wait, my show shouldn't have any laughter.
I'm working on it, Danny.
My go-tos, honestly, are the Indiana Jones movies. Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, Raiders of the Lost Ark, and Temple of Doom. Those 3. Like every time they're on, anytime Paramount is running a marathon, I will watch them over and over and over again. So that's my thing. And then when I was thinking of older films, you're going to totally laugh, but I used to love Adventures in Babysitting. Do you remember?
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
Elizabeth Shue, right?
I'm
Sorry.
sorry. Okay. I've never done this. I'm about to literally steal the show. Okay. And I'm going to take you all on a small adventure. Okay.
Right.
Sorry.
All right. No, I'm prepared.
Okay. This is bullshit. Okay. Bullshit. Okay. What do you see right there?
Oh,
there you go.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's kind of hidden behind a vacation standee. But yeah, it's an Adventures in Babysitting, frame poster. But
That's
what's
awesome.
even more, I've never done this. I think I may have done it once. I'm not kidding. This is going to happen right now. You did this to yourself, everybody.
Yeah, no, I'm not in the video store anymore.
I'm curious.
Nope.
What's happening to me?
Bodies.
I'm curious what he's going to show us, and then what I'm going to want when he shows it to us.
He's got Elizabeth Shue tied up.
Can you see that at all?
Oh my God, that's amazing! Oh my God,
This is Indiana. This is your boy.
is that
Oh.
a poster? Is that off the street? What is that?
It was the only cool thing about Crystal Skull from their promotional. I had a friend who worked at a theater, and I was able to procure it.
That's so
The end.
awesome. Crystal Skull was good, but I still have to.
That's where we differ.
Can you run down the stairs with a boulder rolling in back of you?
Next episode. But yeah, I'm sorry. You
All
just
right.
said
No, that's
2 films that I had to be like, hey, stop the press. If you didn't
And-
preface it as you're gonna laugh, you're gonna kick me off the show.
And if,
And you have memorabilia of my favorite movies in your house. That's so awesome.
that's live TV. That's how it works.
Live TV.
Sometimes the moment just unfurls perfectly.
Yeah.
All right.
Awesome.
Moving along, because we're at almost 1:30 in terms of time here.
Yes, we are. And I Care About Your Happiness Day ends in an hour and a half. So
Because Suzanne's coming.
2 hours from now, you
Suzanne's-
people are on your own.
Beverly Hills Cop. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
What did I
Not-
just talk about at the beginning of the show?
I actually sadly didn't see it. I was working, dude.
Richie
Tell me.
Tenkin, who managed Eddie Murphy during Beverly Hills Cop, he was my manager much, much later, passed away yesterday.
I heard
And
some of that. I'm sorry.
That's why I went to New York City. That's crazy you had that movie. Wow. Richie's watching. Richie's watching.
Well, there you go. I would like to say that he's working through me, but to be honest, I think this movie's just fucking amazing. But I'm sorry to hear that regardless.
No, it's a great movie. That's okay.
But I'm glad that you were connected with somebody awesome. Yeah, I mean, it was originally supposed to star Sly Stallone.
What?
Wow.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
100%. Yeah.
Amy, I heard the disappointment in your voice. That was awesome.
No, I'm so glad it was Eddie Murphy because there's nobody that could have done it better.
Well, here's the deal. Whenever I hear like tidbits of like trivia like that, the natural response is there's no way they could have done it. And that's a testament to how good the actor was that they cast.
Yeah.
Imagine if Stallone
Eddie
was in
Murphy
it.
and Stop When My
I don't
Mom
want to
Was
imagine
Cute.
it.
Well, that's a good example of what Beverly Hills Cop may have looked like. But I will say though, if Stallone was in it and he kicked ass, we probably would appreciate it for what it is. But parallel universes are hard to really nail down in terms of what it would be. It's all speculation, of course. But
Eddie Murphy, I remember I saw that in the theater.
Wow,
and
awesome.
I was so blown away. I was like, that is the greatest movie I've ever seen. He was so funny. I was dying the whole movie.
That movie kicked off its own genre. You know, like the buddy cop thing happened very quickly after that.
Yep.
I think with Lethal Weapon and so on and so forth. But yeah, and people like kind of trip on me because I'm like, oh, it's like one of my favorite comfort movies, blah, blah, blah. I don't find it particularly funny anymore because I've seen it like over 100 times. It's just more like, and I think I did like a cheesy Facebook post. It's more hanging out with old friends. It's just enjoyable. It's like a warm hug. I don't know, you know?
Yep.
And I just love it for what it is. The end.
Awesome.
Now, I don't mean the end for the segment. Come on, you should know by now. We're going another 75 minutes. I'm kidding, Robert. I'm kidding, Amy. 65. I want to ask Susannah.
What tune is this from?
What is Susanna's
What film is
favorite
this
comfort
from?
films? Come on in, Susannah. What do you got? This is Susannah, everybody. She's badass as fuck. Pardon my language.
That's
Hell
her.
yeah.
She's good. She's good.
So this movie came out when I was 16, and I had a Jeep, and Cher had a Jeep, and she was 16 learning to drive. And I lived in California, and then I moved to Georgia. And so every time I miss California, I watch Clueless because she had such good friendships, and Paul Rudd never ages.
He doesn't.
He doesn't. You're right. You're right.
And Amy Heckerling is hilarious.
She's the shit. She's
So, anyway, that's my movie.
Let's dive into that, like analytically, for like an hour.
I was so attracted to her from that movie. She was the hottest blonde I'd ever. I had such a huge crush on her. Oh my God. Crazy.
She was very beautiful, but Amy Heckerling is punk rock. So I was kind of an Amy Heckerling fan. Don't get me wrong.
Are you talking about Alicia Silverstone, Dan?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you know she was originally supposed to be Reese Witherspoon?
I love her too. She could have done it too.
I think Alicia Silverstone.
Yeah.
I
think genetically she was created for this role. You know, I don't know.
Yeah.
But total dude, it's so funny because Paul Rudd, like when you think about like his earlier work before he just started like playing himself in numerous movies, and I'm not talking about what is it, My Idiot Brother. That's the one departure he did. But and I'm not saying it's a bad movie. I guess when I watch a Paul Rudd movie, he's just playing Paul Rudd.
Yep.
And that's what I want. I want to see Paul Rudd, you know. And I don't think he was playing Paul Rudd in Clueless. I think he was playing a role. But it's a great fucking movie, and it's definitely an iconic 90s film for sure.
Awesome.
The end. I just got a text. It's the first time I actually looked at a text in this segment. All right, just to wrap it up, I think that's it. Is Kindergarten Cop. Okay, you can throw this on in the background.
It's not a tumor. It's not a tumor.
The soundtrack is just, I think the soundtrack really carries me along. And I'm actually old pals with Richard Tyson, who's the villain in this film. And then why break tradition once? I'll do it twice in this segment. Here we go. Here we go.
Mobile again.
We're mobile.
I hope everybody took their Dramamine.
That's good.
There you go.
Don't mind the
wow.
alien there. Don't mind the alien there.
I actually saw that in the theater.
The
Same.
alien?
The alien.
Talk about Jim Belushi in the film that he was in with Schwarzenegger. What was that called? The Lies. What was that? Belushi was in a film with Schwarzenegger, wasn't it? Was it called? What was it called?
Are you thinking of
Red Heat?
Red Heat.
Yeah, that's
Red Heat. Yeah. Red Heat. That was one of his first films, and my mentor was Richard Bright from The Godfather, from many films he was in, and Bright was in that film, and he was telling me that they were at lunch, and he was filling up his plate with fucking everything, stacking it up. So Richard says to him, "What are you doing?" He says, I'm going to eat all it. I said, well, if you eat all that stuff, you're gonna, like, when you do your scenes, you're gonna be extremely tired and it's a full stomach. So he said, really? He said he threw the plate out because he had how much respect for Richard. He kind of dumped the plate. But he was just starting out, you know what I mean? We all got to start somewhere. I mean, just a little aside, because you mentioned Jim Belushi, and I just wanted to throw that in there. That's all. Sorry to digress.
No, that's
I love it.
Jim Belushi, thing. Yeah.
The show was great until that. No.
Sure. Amy has a question.
I'm just curious. Why do you have all of those movies? Are you a filmmaker yourself? Like, are you just a collector? What's the deal?
I'm both. I am a writer. I've been shooting since I was 9, like just short films and whatnot. I'm ready for the next leap, which is feature. But this is because I grew up in LA and we don't have basements. And when I moved to Georgia, I'm like, holy shit, you have basements? Okay. We're gonna get crazy in here. Yeah.
That's awesome.
And I should give you like a private tour. If there's an after hours tour, like if we all hang out for like 5 minutes.
Well, yeah, once the show's done, but
I think that's it. So we should wrap it up. Yeah.
Well, guys,
I want to thank everybody.
Oh, wait. I'm sorry. Forgive me. I'm sorry for interrupting. Forgive me. Susannah, you had another film.
Oh.
It was Clueless and
Beaches.
I've never seen that movie.
Ever? Bette Midler is amazing.
Ever. I own it on
Such a good
VHS
friendship.
behind me, and I actually have the fucking novel. But
Wow.
because I have a lot of weird shit around here. Not that
Do you have the soundtrack?
Not yet, but I'm on it.
It's a good soundtrack.
the young Bette Midler in that movie, it was
Maya Bialik.
Oh snap!
She on Big Bang Theory. She's Sheldon's girlfriend.
Or
She
Blossom.
actually has a show now called Call Me Kat.
Yep.
It's on Fox.
Yep.
Right on.
Yep.
The speeches, was that a hero? That song, The Hero. Did you have
I think
Yes.
so. Wind Beneath My
Yes.
Wings. Yeah,
Wind
yeah.
Beneath My Wings.
Yep.
Beautiful song that she sings it so wonderful. That's a
I
great
used to
guy.
very
Great.
young to do that.
Every time I know a couple that has a rocky relationship, I always say, I want you two to sing Wind Beneath My Wings to each other.
And it all works out.
All right. On that note, guys.
There's one more PS.
All right, one more PS, and then we gotta go.
It's a 20-minute PS.
No. We can do
All
Patrick
right.
Swayze's Roadhouse. I'm done.
That was the
All
first
right.
movie I ever saw at a theater.
There you
Switch
go.
to Roadhouse.
I was
All right.
9.
All right.
Definitely
Comfort
watch
films,
that.
man. Cool.
Guys, we gotta go, but guests, hang out if you want to do an after hours hangout. Right now, I just want to thank everybody for being on the show. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, Danny. Thank you, Danny.
Thank you.
You guys
Thank
were
you.
great guests. Thank
Nice
you.
to meet you all.
Great catching up, and hang out if you want after the show. And thank you for the one person or two people that hung out till the end.
There you go.
It was my mother and father.
Thanks.
And my husband.
All right, let's roll the credits and tell your friends. Oh, donations. Roll the donations. Yes. Go to Anchor. Go to that Anchor thing.
Get a sipper for the after hours.
Anchor FM / the Danny McDermott Show / support.
Save me, Daddy.
We'll put it in the description, and Robert will sing it, and we'll record it, and we'll put it in.
I think we should do a cameo where Robert sings upon request. Money talks and bullshit walks.
All right, guys.
Twins.
I love you, guys.
Twins.
No, bye.
Where's the Jordan? I'll-
Nope.